Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV, as the 3rd of December is the International Day of People with Disabilities that was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in 1992. And the annual observance of the day aims to increase awareness and the understanding of the disability issues and trends, and to mobilize the support for the practical action of all levels by, with, and for the people with disabilities. And to be talking more about the issue, we have Professor Dr. Maysa Masridi, Director of the Egyptian Academy for Childhood Disability in Ain Shams University. Dr. Maysa, thank you very much for being with us today on Nile Cruise.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us. And we're going to start off by just, if you can give us the Egyptian Academy for Childhood Disability. As far as I know, is a recently established academy. What are the tasks assigned to it?
It's a very recent academy in Egypt. It's established in February.
Just last February?
Yeah, okay. Just last February. Its main aim is training for all people working with a disability, as therapists, doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, all people working with a disability, even parents and children. Also research regarding disability. This is the main issue. Also making networking, because many NGOs are working in the area of disability, but actually not all of them are knowing each other, and they don't know the needs of the community or the needs of each other. Or sometimes they are searching and they can't find the right body in a certain place.
Egypt was one of the places that lacked a lot of maybe concern towards disability and special needs in Egypt in particular.
This is true, but historically we did have a minister who was handicapped, Dr. Tahsin. We do actually forget that he is disabled, and many others. And I do believe that long time ago there was at Al-Azhar a place for blind people. This is we were from the first countries. We were from the first countries working on this.
It's good that it's coming back, and there's the establishment of the country.
And there's the NGO for Amir al-Aman, and it has a marvelous job. For example, the orchestra. It goes everywhere. They say that Egyptians do miracles. We did a miracle, and I can tell you, we did invite the director of the European Academy of Childhood Disability, and we did have several workshops and lectures, and we did invite this orchestra, Nur al-Amal, and he was actually, I can't say that he was surprised and very positive attitude about these children. I didn't bring the main orchestra. I would go to the Baran for the children from 13 to the little ones.
That's great. Dr. Maysa, does the Academy target as well the mental and the psychological disabilities or not?
Yes. It does. All types of disability. As I said before, we do training, we do research, and we're in a project, we do database for disability.
Is it harder to be working with the mental and the psychological disabilities?
I want to tell you something, that we do have in a very new building two things. A center with care for children with a disability, where Professor Dr. Ihab is the director of it, and the Egyptian Academy of Childhood Disability. The center is working with the children. There are therapists, there is doctors working with the children, but actually we are more as trainings at the academy is more as for training, for research, for awareness. We do lots of symposium, seminars, workshops.
Yes.
And also, do you offer training for the people working in this field as well?
We will begin training. We will begin, there was we are advertising the training. It's Ain Shams University, it's governmental.
But is it easy to be detecting and recognizing the problem with the child Is it a psychological, a mental, a physical disability for the child to be identifying it and working on it to be training him in the best possible way or her?
Actually, it's not easy. It needs training, and it needs to have multidisciplinary professionals to work with him. But I want to say something, that the Academy is a part of the Postgraduate Institute of Childhood Studies in Shams University. This institute has three main departments. One of them is the medical department, the other is psychological, and the other is mass media and culture. All these are working for the sake of the children. So we do have four medical issues and another psychological, for example, making IQ therapies for the mental and so on. And I want to say about the media and making awareness and making sponsoring, all these is very important.
Very important tools, of course.
Yeah.
And doctor, also we don't want to forget the parents. It's very difficult, of course, for parents to be able to sort of move on and accept disabilities. Do you actually give a training to parents? Is there some sort of a support for them as well?
Actually, every center there is a support group, particularly for autistic children, and there is one of the doctors working with this for the parents. Yeah, and many of this improvement and many of the talks are given for the children, for the parents of the children.
Okay.
And many of the there is support groups, and there is also just awareness. We have done recently about sexual harassment, about how to bring up the children and how to deal with children with disabilities, and we are in need of more. And so we are doing,
Does Egypt have a database and statistics regarding the numbers of the children disabled here in the country or not?
Actually, we do have statistics, but for every government or every place, there is its own database. But internationally, there is the International Classification of Function and Disability, ICF, which is used internationally, which I am supposed that the diagnosis has to be all the same.
Yes.
So the statistics, for example, with any of the ministries, we do the same as Ministry of Health and Education and so on. So we have to use the same criteria, which I do believe that I hope that the Council of Disabled, the National Council for Disabled, will be aware of this, because I do know that they are going to have doing a sort of detecting or the prevalence of disability, but I'm not sure that they are I'm not sure about the criteria. It has to be unified. This is one of the pitfalls, that we do have many statistics and many great jobs are done, but different criteria.
Yes.
And Doctor, how does the Academy coordinate work with the private and public associations working in this field as well?
We did have seminars with them and other types of work. We did have with the NGO several types, as for example, Save the Children, and with the نحن سماع أفضل, Better Healing Society. We did have the common symposium, and we did have screening for hearing deficits, as well as also these NGOs are working with the center. And for example, there is cochlear implant, where we do have implant the cochlear if there is a defect. It's a sort of medical issue where there is something about the hearing, which we do implant the cochlear so the children can hear. So we do give them these classes. We do give them classes. It is done in our center, in our institute.
So, Dr. Maisa, our final question would be about this year's theme for the International Day of Persons with Disabilities is Sustainable Development and the Promise of Technology. What sort of technology can be needed or used to be helping our disabled children?
I think many of the softwares can be used, particularly, for example, the iPads. Apple is doing many of the apps which can be used, and I do believe this is one of the things that is important for the Academy, that to develop Egyptian softwares for the children, and we do actually have staff for this. This is one issue about the softwares and this. But also there is many things about I can't tell the use of robots and so on, but I don't know, we have to...
For the blind, to be specific, right?
Yeah, augmented communication with blind and so on. But I don't know if there is a Egypt or not, but I've seen it in the last conference in Vienna, where there is all these factories, all these companies have funded a lot of millions to the universities to invest for this robots, for disabled children. So I hope that we will use it. Another thing I want to say that this great building was donated by an Egyptian person.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
I hope there are more of them.
Yes, we do hope, because this is encouraging. But there is still, but there is still people who can give, and we give in the right way, and we give it for the Egyptian, and for the Egyptian university, and it's doing a very good job.
That's amazing. And well, we just want to really thank Professor Dr. Maïsa Nasr, Director of the Egyptian Academy for the Childhood Disability in Ain Shams University. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us.
Thank you,
we will be moving, apparently, to another report.
Yes, about German tourism
operator.
Yes, in Egypt.
It has organized its first cruise to Egypt, reaching the city of Hurghada. And on that occasion, the Minister of Tourism, Hisham Zazua, met with around 1,000 representatives of the German tourism agencies with the aim of revitalizing the Egyptian tourism sector. And Nile TV's Linda Abdulatif has more in the following report. So don't go away and stay with us.